Hey guys, so today we're going to be talking about 15 things that you need to know before moving to Nashville. So stick around. Hey guys, it's Tiffany again with Tiffany Gudger Real Estate right here in Nashville, Tennessee. If this is your first time to our channel and you want to know everything about living in Nashville, make sure you go ahead and hit that subscribe button and click that little bell so you're notified every time we do a new video. Honestly, we get people reaching out to us all the time that are looking to move or relocate here, and we love it. But you've got to reach out. So go ahead, shoot us a text, send us an email, give us a call. However you want to get a hold of us, we've got your back when moving to the Nashville and Middle Tennessee areas. So jumping right into it, I have made a list of 15 things you need to know when moving to this area, and I just wanted to go over them pretty quickly with you guys just so that you're aware. The first thing I want to start with is that I am here to help, and I have been in your shoes. So I'm originally from Asheville, North Carolina, and I moved here 5 or 6 years ago, and I know what it's like to move here. I know what it takes, and I know kind of the shocks and the things it can bring to you. And as a realtor, I'm here to answer any questions you've got and just here to help however I can. So just keep in mind when moving here, the first thing you need to know is that I'm here to help. I've been there and we can make it happen. So that's item number one. Item number two that you need to know before moving here is your budget. So we can get you hooked up with a lender that lends here in the area, or if you're paying cash, we need to know kind of what your budget is, because all throughout Nashville, there's different price points depending on where you go, whether you're downtown or in any of the suburbs. Um, whatever your budget is will kind of help us narrow down where we start the search for you. So item number two would be your budget. Number three is what areas interest you and then fit into that budget. So it kind of goes off of number two. There's several different areas depending on what your style is and what you're looking for, whether you're looking for a family-friendly neighborhood, or you want to be right downtown in the middle of the action, or you want some land. Just depending on what you want to look for, we kind of need to know that before you get here so that we can make sure we get that narrowed down to you and get it figured out where you can find what you're looking for with your budget. And number four of what you need to know is where you're going to be working or where you want your kids to go to school or daycare, because depending on that will determine your commute times and will also help us narrow down what part of town to look in. And I say all of these things, they're kind of boring things, and I get it, but it's super important that we know them just so that we put you in the right area, because nobody wants an hour and a half commute to and from work or have to go way out of their way to get to the daycare or to school that you pick out for your kids. So getting all of this figured out ahead of time will make the process of moving here a lot smoother, trust me. So moving on to number five, it is a seller's market. A lot of you probably know that. It makes it kind of difficult because a lot of houses are going very, very quickly, so we have to kind of stay on top of things. Everyone's moving here. At one point, it was over 100 people every single day, and I don't foresee that slowing down anytime soon. So when we find a property that you like, we'll have to move very, very quickly. Or if you're looking to rent, those things kind of get gone within a day. So if you're moving from another state and you're not here, a lot of times you'll have to put in an application for a rental or offer on a property without seeing it. And that's kind of where I can come in and do some video walkthroughs and stuff, but we'll get into that later whenever you reach out when you're ready to move here. But yeah, a lot of times you might have to buy something sight unseen. It is what it is. It's crazy here. I will do the best I can to help. I will guide you with offers and the way they look and that kind of thing, but just keep in mind it is a seller's market. Things move very, very quickly here. So moving on to number six, the thing that you should know about Nashville and Middle Tennessee, and Tennessee in general, is there is no state income tax. So a lot of people get pretty excited about that because who wants to pay more taxes? I will say the caveat to that is we have a higher sales tax in Davidson County because there are so many tourists here, that our sales tax when you go to the store to buy something is 9.25%. So the government will figure out how to get their money. But I do think that's something people should know before coming to Tennessee, is that we don't have a state income tax, which there's not a bunch of states that do that. So it's important that you know that that's something that we do here. Moving on to number 7 is you should know the cost of living here in Nashville, compared to where you're coming from. If you're coming from California, you have nothing to worry about because the cost of living is definitely less. I've done a video on the cost of living here in Nashville that you guys can check out, and it goes into all that kind of detail, and it'll just help you figure out, based on where you're coming from, how that compares to here and what that means for you when you get here. So is your cups of coffee going to be more expensive? Or your groceries going to be more expensive? You'll probably save money on your car insurance depending on where you're coming from and different stuff like that. So just comparing the cost of living, and that helps you kind of pick a job too, because if the cost of living here is lower, then you can actually end up making less money and still having the same kind of lifestyle you have now, or vice versa. So that's important to know. Number 8 is you should know about the transportation here. You need to bring a vehicle. We don't have a great mass transportation system. We have a bus, doesn't have a lot of stops, doesn't always run in the hours people need it. There is one commuter train, but it only goes east of the city. So yeah, you're gonna have to have a car or Uber pretty much everywhere. Like I said, no mass transit system here. That's really popular, super successful. The roads, while we're talking about that, are terrible. The potholes have potholes. So our interstates have potholes, side roads have potholes. It's just a mess here. So I've had a lot of people mention that to me, that that's something they weren't aware of when they moved here, and took some getting used to. And eventually you'll figure it out. Or if you use the app Waze, it will actually tell you like, hey, there's a big pothole coming up, because it's big enough that people report it. So yeah, as far as transportation, no mass transit system and lots of potholes on potholes on potholes. So number 9 of what you need to know, you will have visitors. So wherever you're moving from, people love coming to Nashville to visit. So when you get here and you have a place of your own, your friends and your family and people from the woodworks will be calling you to come visit and want to stay. So if that's something you plan on doing, make sure that you have a little extra space for guests, because I promise you they will come out of nowhere, and they'll just want to come see you and check out Nashville, because why not? And hotels are expensive here. Airbnbs can be expensive here. So if they know somebody in Nashville, they're going to want to stay with you. So get prepared for visitors. Let's see. Number 10. If you've seen my other videos, you know this already, but these summers here are hot and brutal and humid and sticky. And for the most part, they're mild, but there's probably about a month to a month and a half where it's almost unbearable. Like, it's so humid here sometimes that you walk outside, you're immediately sticky, and you just want to stay inside in the air conditioning all day. And that's totally fine. We do that, or we go to the lakes with our dogs, or we do something like that. But just be prepared that sometimes when we have 100-degree heat, it feels more like 110 or more, because it's sticky. Very, very different from the dry heat out west. So that is number 10 of the things that you need to know when moving here. It gets hot in the summertime. So moving on. Number 11. I don't know what you've heard, but Nashville is kid friendly. So what that means is bring the kids, come on. Everybody thinks that Nashville is mostly just about going to the bars and drinking and the honky tonks and that kind of stuff, but there is a lot of stuff for kids to do here. We have a great zoo and a water park and awesome libraries and Adventure Science Center, which is great for kids and super informative. and all kinds of things. I plan on doing another video just on what you can do with your kids here, because most people don't realize there are a ton of things. So bring the whole family, come on. There's good schools around the Middle Tennessee area, so you can look at those, whether it's public schools, there's great private schools, lots of options for your kids on that, and lots of things for them to do to have fun. Like I said, water parks, libraries, museums, all kinds of stuff. So just know we are kid friendly. It is not just for the adults here. And moving on to number 12, if you're not aware, the restaurant and food scene here is awesome. If you are a foodie like myself, you will find all kinds of food options, and Michelin star restaurants and all kinds of stuff. Any food you could possibly think of, we have it here, and probably it's got a really good rating and amazing reviews, because I'm a review fanatic. I have to go check out the reviews for restaurants before I go there, and there's just so many that I haven't even been to all of them yet. We have amazing steakhouses, and I mean, anything that you could hope for. There's a big food scene here, so prepare to experience that. Check it out. Go see what our Nashville hot chicken's all about, and just get excited for the food and beer scene here as well. It's something that I've really enjoyed. It makes for great date nights. We just have like a running list of things that we see, and we'll randomly pick one and go have date night out. And, you know, like I said, I've been here for 5 or 6 years, and I've still not checked everything off of my list. So just so you are aware, we have a wonderful food scene here. And moving on to number 13, this one's probably pretty obvious, but there are lots of tourists here. So the weekends get a little crazy. You might not want to go to your favorite restaurants on the weekends, because there will probably be long lines. The bar scene will be crazy in Broadway and stuff, but eventually you'll learn where the locals hang out and it won't be so bad. But traffic during the summer months is pretty bad. Normally traffic's really just bad during commuter hours, but in the summer or on the weekends when we've got a lot of people here, traffic can get pretty bad when you're downtown and other popular places. So just be prepared for there to be influxes of the number of people here in Nashville, because the bachelorette parties are real and the tourists are real. And even you think maybe on a Monday, sometimes they're still here on Mondays and Tuesdays. So that's something you'll want to plan for, or just make a mental note. Lots of tourists, and they bring with them lots of traffic. Although it is good for local businesses and can be a good thing to our local entrepreneurs with small businesses and things, but that's just something to take a note of. So moving on again to number 14, our city is growing. This kind of ties into what I talked about it being a seller's market, and that's because the city's growing and it's going to keep doing that. I don't foresee that slowing down much in the near future. It could slow down, but it's not going to stop. So I can almost bet that if you buy a property now, it's going to continue to just increase in value because of all the people that are moving here. We just don't have enough homes for them, and so that's why they're going so quickly. And whenever you move here, you can just go ahead and bet things are just going to continue to grow. We're going to get more restaurants. We're going to get more options. The city is just going to spread out wider, and it's a real thing, and it's pretty exciting to see. Even in the 5 or 6 years that I've been here, it's changed a lot. So be prepared for lots of changes, even more new restaurants, fast building equity in your homes, and all of that kind of stuff. So number 15, the final thing I want to mention is you are never going to be bored here. There's so much to do. Like I said, there's the obvious things that everybody hears about, like the honky tonks and the bars and, you know, the Grand Ole Opry and the Ryman, but we have waterfalls and lakes and water parks and just so many things to do, like the zoo. And it's just, I don't know if I'll ever see it all as long as I live here. So there's all kinds of concerts and free music as well, and live music at restaurants, but there are even more places that do outdoor concerts than most people realize. And you're never going to be bored. You're always going to have something to do. We have vineyards and breweries and, I mean, lots of things for your dogs to do, your kids to do, your friends to do, your family to do, things for guys nights and girls nights. And um, it's very, very exciting and something that I love to brag on. I've done a video on the kind of things that there are to do here. So I just wanted to briefly mention that. I know I went over these things very quickly, and it's a lot to take in, and I will elaborate on a lot of them on other videos if I have not already. So let me know if you have any questions about these 15 things. You can go ahead and shoot me a text, email, phone call, however you want to get a hold of me. I'm here to help. I've been there. I know what it takes. I know how to get you there, and I would love to help or answer any questions you have. So, that being said, until next time, guys, have an awesome day, and we'll catch you later.